The Village. Truly one of the support towers of all time. Other than being the epitome of the Australian housing market, the Village provides a slew of buffs to your monkeys that are useful in almost any situation. In its base form, the Village gives all monkeys within its radius 10% extra range. However, with upgrades, it can introduce a collection of perks that can be useful in pretty much any situation. The top path buffs the attack speed of all monkeys in range, along with providing extra bonuses to primary monkeys. The middle path provides upgrades that assist with popping all balloon types and shredding late game blimps. And the bottom path helps save money and space while amplifying alternate forms of income generation. While most of you probably started off with BTD6, in previous games the Village acted quite differently. The most notable changes between the two games are: the base cost is reduced, Monkey Business and Radar Beacon have swapped places, the 6G NBN tower has been reworked into other paths, and the beloved Monkey Fort has been torn down.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
While I do feel this is the definitive form of the Village, I do miss some of the benefits provided by the older versions. But enough of my own nostalgia trip, let's get right into it. The top path specialises in increasing the offensive capabilities of other monkeys, particularly ones from the primary category. Bigger radius increases the influence range of the Village, so you can give more monkeys the Village's buffs. Jungle Drums improves the attack speed of all monkeys by 18%, but has a few niche interactions with other towers. NGs place their sentries faster, Alchemists buff more often, and track-based attacks have higher effective up times. While Jungle Drums can be given to all monkeys, upgrades from Tier 3 onwards only affect primary monkeys. All three upgrades grant extra pierce and range, along with the latter two upgrades also reducing ability cooldowns and making Tier 1 and 2 primary upgrades free. While all of them have great potential, my recommendation for purchasing each tier varies depending on the use case of the Village. Primary training is useful during most late game runs, since it's a cheap and effective buff to most primary towers such as Moa Press, Moa Glue, and Embrittlement Ice. Primary mentoring is also worthwhile to pick up if you have ability based monkeys such as Assassins, Millpark Glue, and Snowstorm. It's also the best tier for the Plasma Monkey Fan Club for chimps because it's quite effective for its 2.7k price, and it isn't as much of a burden to purchase compared to the Expertise. Oddly specific, I know, but it's something I forgot to mention when I was doing my Dart Monkey video. Finally, we have the strange case that is the Primary Expertise. It's one of the upgrades that comes with a strong mix of offensive capabilities and buffing potential, but is a master of neither. The Expertise buff pretty much doubles down what was given in the previous tiers, but it comes with extra range to help supply its buffs to more monkeys. And for the offensive part, the Expertise has a global ballista attack that fires massive Beyblades that home in on balloons. At its base, the Expertise's blades deal 10 damage to normal balloons and 200 to ceramics and Moabs, while also being able to pop every balloon type and camos. While slightly ironic, the ballista attack can benefit from village buffs, but requires another village in its range to receive them. While all of this is good, the upgrade is pretty pricey to justify unless you're building a strategy around it. Expertise works well in Striker Mauler spam because it makes spamming Maulers a lot cheaper, while also helping clean up the large amount of super ceramics that come out of Moabs. It also combos well with primary spam since you can get a mix of stalling, damage and clean up primary towers and buff them under the Expertise village to increase their power. If you have the extra cash, or are running a primary based strategy, it's a good upgrade to have in your lineup. But in most cases, the classic triple XX2 village combo can provide more than enough discount, while also saving some extra cash to cram in a few more towers or purchase another tier 5. Wait, what is that noise? Oh, it's just the bib. While the top path buffs your monkey's offensive capabilities, the middle path provides special perks that help your monkeys pop all balloon types and properties. Starting with Grow Blocker, the village emits radio signals that halt regrow properties while they are in range. While reasonably effective, regrows rarely appear in large numbers beyond a few select rounds and ABR. The upgrade's utility kinda diminishes after round 80 as well, because all balloons have a one-child policy, making the regrow property near pointless. But the upgrade only costs 250 bucks, so I don't really hold much against it. But there are better options out there for fighting regrows. Radar Scanner grants all monkeys in range camo detection. While not the cheapest for dealing with camos, it's far more consistent and reliable compared to most decamo towers. Its only weak point is phase, since the boss disables its buff every 30 seconds. But I would recommend towers that have inbuilt camo detection over anything else anyway. Upgrading to the MIB provides top secret military tactics that allow monkeys to pop all balloon types. It's useful in a pinch, since most towers only receive normal damage through expensive or weak upgrades.
Why you bully me?
But the best thing about it is that it eliminates all balloon weaknesses a tower may have. Are purples giving your wizards problems? Well, here is the solution. Tower can't pop leads? Not anymore. Zebras rushing through your ice monkeys? Purchase other towers. You guessed it, MIB. The only exception to this upgrade is if the monkey cannot target Moabs beforehand, it still cannot target Moabs with the MIB. While this upgrade is game changing, having access to this knowledge comes at a high cost. However, its price can be reduced by placing several XX2 villages nearby. Moving on, Call to Arms adds a new ability that gives all monkeys on screen plus 50% attack speed and pierce for 15 seconds. It's by far one of the best support buffs in the game because it's global and it isn't restricted by monkey path or role. Simply put, damage towers pop more balloons, stalling towers stall harder, and support towers support more? Okay, I acknowledge the ability may not be as useful to all monkey types, but still better than nothing. The only issue with this tower is that it's too expensive and often overkill for most standard games. But nothing money can't fix, am I right? Homeland Defense pretty much duplicates Call to Arms, but its effects are doubled, and the ability lasts 5 more seconds. But one thing both these upgrades have in common is that its ability sound is an absolute banger. But how can I sum up Middle Path Village? Well, it's amazing. Having the power to make any tower viable late game opens up many more interesting combos for beating the game. And that's why I say it's the GOAT for support, since I can always find a use for it, regardless of what game mode I'm playing.
There's no bloom.
Yes! Yes! Oh gosh. Finally. We have talked about the offensive path. We have discussed the defensive path. And now we will cover the money path. The bottom path provides upgrades that help you save money while later boosting all forms of income production and producing a bit of its own. Monkey Business applies a 10% discount on all tier 3 and below upgrades. It also provides a discount to the base tower when placed within range, but the discount is refunded after you purchase the monkey. Meanwhile, Monkey Commerce engages in some extreme couponing and adds an additional 5% discount to tier 3 or below upgrades. While a worse deal than the previous upgrade, Monkey Commerce can stack up to 3 times on any one monkey for a maximum of 15% discount. This stacks additively with Monkey Business, granting a collective 25% discount. In most games though, 1 or 2 discount villages will suffice in most cases, but it's often good to bring along 3 if you're using super monkeys or you're spamming a lot of tier 3s. Monkey Town grants a buff to nearby monkeys that makes them generate 50% extra money per pop.
Boring!
While the upgrade has the potential to pay itself off, you need to have your primary damage dealers within range and purchase it before the high RBE rounds. Typically not worth the hassle though. Upgrading to Monkey City gives the village extra range, 20% bonus cash for towers that produce money, and a free dart monkey each round.
Boring.
It's good with farms, supply drop snipers, and Spirit of the Forest, but otherwise it's a pretty forgettable upgrade. Monkeyopolis takes banana production into its own hands and starts growing its own crates.
Boring.
Oh no, this upgrade is actually somewhat interesting. At the flat cost of 5,000 per farm in range, it sacrifices said farms and increases its income based on the total money invested into them. While optimal Monkeyopolis configurations are kinda complicated to explain, all you really need to know is that 420 BRS produce the best results. Marketplaces are a close second if you want a decent Monkeyopolis up fast, or you could just use one base farm to get a BRF at home for boss events. My only question is, what happens to these farms after they are sacrificed? While accompanied by a couple of deadweight upgrades, Bottom Path Village does a great job at improving your farming while also helping you save a lot of money. Just don't sleep on the Monkeyopolis during impoppable runs. It can make serious bank within short periods of time. Now I can happily cross Village off the list. I know the Village is probably one of the more boring towers to cover, but I had a lot of fun ideas I wanted to test out before going into the big damage towers. As you may hear, I am recording the outro with a new mic, so hopefully no more scuffed audio. Following up from my previous video, one video every 2-ish weeks feels right for me, unless I plan on doing another type of video. Not much to say other than that, so I'll see you all in the next video.